Okay, good morning, everyone. Thanks for attending. Thank you, IPSR, for setting this up. Today, we're going to talk about the new Illustra LPR camera and its integration into Exacq. So this is one of the continuing of our webinar series of several topics that we've done, and we have more coming up. The focus, the intent of these presentations is to be a single focused topic, no more than 30 minutes in length. These are not real deep dives. These are a little bit more sales oriented, but what we want to do is to drive the interest. So if your customer has an interest in LPR, certainly engage your IPSR rep, and we can do a deeper dive and we can do more detailed demos for them. So today we are going to talk about LPR. We're going to talk about the LPR cameras, the configuration that's done in the camera itself, and then the configuration that's done within Exacq. And we'll show you examples of that, and hopefully this will be very beneficial to you. Okay, so Illustra came out with two models of LPR cameras late last fall. They have a dome version and a bullet version. They both run the same software, the same capabilities. I've got the list price over here for you for the dome and for the LPR. Keep in mind that is all inclusive. That's for the camera. That includes the software, the LPR software, includes all the normal analytics that's in a pro camera. And then on the Exacq side, there's no additional charge on the Exacq side. You don't have to update the software. There's no additional software that's needed on the Exacq side. And if you're attaching these Illustra cameras to an Exacq hardware NVR, an A series, a Q series, an X series, there's no additional charge for the camera license. So the price you see here can really be the all-inclusive price moving forward. And you'll find that this is very competitive when compared to some of the other cameras in the market and what additional software you might need with those cameras. So again, this is based on the Illustra Pro Series camera. So in addition to getting all the object analytics, the line crossing analytics that are included in the Illustra Pro camera, you also now have those plus the LPR app inside it. This is a great camera to use for like parking lot control. As vehicles pull up to the lot, if they're on a list, an allow list, we can automatically trigger the gate as an example. I'll get into more of how we do our list management and the other choices that you have there in just a couple minutes. The spec on the camera, I believe, calls it out for 35 miles per hour max speed. Anything over and above that, you may need to look at other cameras, but again, for basic parking lot integrations, cataloging cars coming in and out of different lots, tracking those, 35 miles an hour should be more than enough to capture most of those use cases. I throw this slide up there not to get into the dynamics of the actual installation, but just as a reminder that there are specific guidelines with any LPR camera as far as how you mount it, the distance it is, the angle that it is, both up and down and to the side. Those requirements will be clear, very clear in the documentation. This is the one time that you don't really want to color outside of the box. You need to stay within these specs to get the best result of the camera. Okay, so now I've logged on to the camera interface. These are screenshots from the camera interface itself. The first thing you're going to do is set up the exposure. You would do this on any camera that you would install. You'll find, though, a couple different new profiles in the camera. There will actually be 3 different LPR profiles, a low, medium, and high that basically more or less equate to the speed. Medium typically will probably be the best selection here. And on the right, I've got the list of the recommended camera settings. But I also want to point out that your mileage might vary. It's going to be very dependent upon where the camera is actually installed. As an example, if it's inside a parking garage where it's fairly dark, you may need to adjust the exposure a little bit to capture those places the cars are coming in. Likewise, if it's installed outside in a bright sunny area, you may need to tweak those. So best rule of thumb is you can start with these recommended settings, but then tweak them as you need for the individual installation. Okay, I'm still staying in the camera interface, but now on the left-hand side, you can see here for under analytics, these are the normal selections you would see in the Pro camera, except we've added now the license plate recognition. And when you click on that, you're going to come to this screen. This is all the setup that's really needed. You're going to enable the LPR. Highlight detections, you don't have to turn this on. This, if you noticed in those little videos that we're showing earlier, it would pop up the license plate number in the view. If you don't need that, you can certainly just turn that off. And now for your region and country. This is a little bit important. We do want to start with North America and then designate the United States. This is telling the camera how better to look for the plate. Every country has a little different format, different size. The state and province, I've listed Illinois here, where this particular camera is located. You don't have to put anything in there. If you do, it just kind of helps the camera a little bit when it's trying to determine the state of a plate. If it knows that the majority of the plates are coming from Illinois, it'll make some tweaks. But again, you don't have to set that. Now, my list information down here at the bottom. The camera has the ability to maintain 4 different lists. You can call them whatever you want. By default, when you install the camera, it's allow, it's deny, and then we have 2 custom lists, but you can change the names of these lists. You don't have to use all 4 lists. You could use just the allow list if you were controlling a parking lot. That's perfectly fine. On the right-hand side here is an example of what that list looks like. You're going to build that in a little spreadsheet, little text file, and simply you're putting the plate number and what list you want it to be part of. So if I were only using this for parking lot control and only wanted to automatically allow cars that were on the allow list, I would only have plates here on and with the designation of allow. I wouldn't have anything on the custom list or the deny list. But we can use these lists. For instance, if a car's on the deny list, maybe you want to get a notification that that car came on the property. A custom list could be a VIP list. You want to know when the boss comes into the parking lot, or a watch list. A car that maybe was driving around the property late at night and you want to know if that car comes back. You could put that in a custom list. This spreadsheet is uploaded into the camera. It automatically takes effect. We can handle about 2,000 entries in this list. And anytime you need to update the list, just bring up your original spreadsheet, add a plate, take out a plate, and just re-upload it to the camera. Okay, so now I'm going to jump into the Exacq client interface. And you'll notice here, this is on any camera in Exacq. If you right click and go to properties, you're going to get a screen that has these tabs. Notice now that there's an analytic tab, and it shows me the analytics from that camera and the list. So I had all 4 lists enabled. All 4 lists are going to appear here. Now, what you can do here, and what I'm representing, is if in a live view, if you're going to have, someone monitoring cameras all the time, the LPR camera or cameras might be part of that live list. We can change the color of the bounding boxes to match the list. You can use any colors you want. They don't have to be what I set up here. But as a car enters, if they're on the allow list, as an example, the bounding box is going to be a green bounding box. So if someone is watching that camera live or just kind of keeping an eye on things, they would see the green bounding box. Likewise, I could use red for a deny or yellow for the watch list. Again, whatever colors I define are what will appear in a live view of that camera. If you're not going to do any live viewing and everything is going to be from a forensic perspective, you're going to go back and search and look for specific plates, then you don't even need to do the bounding boxes at all. Strictly optional. All right, so staying within the Exacq interface, I've gone to the search page, and I started with a basic timeline search and put in my my time range, my date, and I get the video, returned back during that time. But notice here, I've also selected the continuous metadata from that camera, from the license plates. And I wanted to look for a specific plate, but I only had a partial number of that plate. So I click on this Show Filters button. I come up here and select plate number. And then I use the operator contains. I could have said equals, but then I would need to know the exact plate. So what I'm doing here is saying I want to return video anytime a plate contains the letters BXT, or excuse me, PX2. Can't even read my own plate number there. When I do that, then we only return the video where that plate appears. Now, you can see this appears every couple minutes there. This is a video that was on a loop, and that's why it appears multiple times. But if it only appeared once during this time, I would see one hash mark here. I could go right to that hash mark, play back the video, and see when that car came in. I could go back 30 days ago and look for that plate. You have a lot of flexibility in how you search for this. Notifications. So let's go back to maybe I do want to be notified if a plate was on a deny list, as an example. So I do that through event linking. I simply create an event, choose the analytic. In this case, it's the deny from the LPR plate. And then what do I want to do if I find that plate on the deny list? In this case, I want to send a notification. I'm sending an email. That's the subject header of the email. Here's an example of what I get in the email. I get the notification plus a clip of that vehicle. In this case, I can do just the photo of that vehicle coming in. That could also be a text message. I could also create another type of an alarm. I could have chosen, for instance, an output trigger here and activated a light or an alarm. I could log the event. There's many different things that I could do with event linking based on that plate. This is also the way that we handle controlling a gate. In this case, I would look for the allow list. And when that car comes into the parking lot, he's on the allow list. I would then choose output trigger, and I would choose an output trigger that's a relay or an IO port that's going to trip a relay that's controlling that gate, and the gate will automatically come up. So again, a lot of flexibility in how you handle this. An example of controlling that gate is from this view. Car pulls up, we read the plate, we've triggered the gate, and the gate will open. This happens to be the road that I was showing you in those other sample videos. This is on the other side of when those cars were coming in. Okay, in a live monitoring mode, again, let's go back to that scenario of you do have somebody watching numerous cameras, and they do want to be notified if certain conditions exist. In this case, I've listed if they're on the watch list or a block list, I want to take over that live view. So we do that through event monitoring. And in the next screen, you can see I'm looking at several different cameras. As a car comes down, if they're on one of those lists that I've put in that event monitor, it's going to take me right to that video, give me the reason why that particular plate was triggered. I can acknowledge that event, get back to my other video, and I'm set to go again. I wouldn't have to have this LPR camera even running in the upper right. I could be looking at, 32 other cameras, and only when that LPR camera is triggered would the event populate here in a live view. So hopefully that helps. Okay, that's really all I have today on the LPR side. I just want to remind you that again, we do have what used to be a promotion is now a permanent promotion, where any Illustra camera, any Flex or Pro camera that is being added to an Exacq NVR, there is no camera license required for that box. We don't charge you for the license. And in fact, now we can discover those cameras and even in most cases, kind of auto add those cameras into Exacq. This is a big advantage, saves you money, gives you the ability to make more margin with your customers. And this is now a permanent promotion that we've done. It has to be an Illustra camera, and it has to be an Illustra Flex or Pro camera, I should point out, and it has to be connected on Exacq hardware. And lastly, just want to remind everyone about Windows 11. We've been shipping Windows 11 on the Q&A series now for about the last 2.5, 3 months. But there's a lot of existing hardware out there that has Windows 10 that at some point should be upgraded to Windows 11. I listed a website here that you can go to and enter a serial number. We will tell you whether or not that old hardware is capable of running Windows 11, and if it is, what part number to order from us. So don't forget, keep track of your customers and keep them as current as you can. So that's it for today. I greatly appreciate you guys attending these webinars. Thank you, IPSR, for setting this up. And look for the next one in a couple more weeks, I think, and they'll be sending out the schedule. So thank you guys. Have a great morning, and look forward to talking to you again soon.